The colony of Arkan Station lay quiet under the pale glow of its twin moons. Human soldiers patrolled the outer walls, their armor reflecting the faint silver light. The desert wind carried dust across the steel walkways, whistling like a ghostly song. To most, the night was silent, but in truth, someone was watching. Unseen, among the shadows moved an alien girl. Her skin shimmered faintly, her body blending into the darkness. To her people, invisibility was a gift. To her, it was a shield. She had walked through the colony for weeks. Without being noticed, she had studied the humans, their strange machines, their strange voices, and their strange way of looking at the stars. She believed she was invisible to all, her steps light, her breath silent. No guard ever turned, no soldier ever raised a weapon. She smiled to herself as she slipped between patrols, her silver eyes hidden by her gift. But tonight was different. On the wall stood a human marine. His armor was scarred from battles long past, his face calm but sharp. He was not like the others. He did not pace with boredom. He stood still, watching the sands as if they carried secrets. His name was Daniel. The alien girl crept closer. Her curiosity burned stronger than fear. She wanted to see what made this human different. She stepped only a few meters away, certain he could not see her. But then, without warning, his head turned, his eyes locked on hers. Her heart froze. She stumbled back. Her invisibility still wrapped her like a cloak, but his gaze followed her every move. For the first time in her life, she felt exposed. Daniel's voice was calm, quiet, but certain. "You can stop hiding," the alien girl gasped, her lips parted. Though no sound escaped, she whispered to herself, "Impossible." She took another step back, but his eyes tracked her, unwavering. Her invisibility flickered, her silver skin shimmered into view. She appeared before him, standing with wide eyes and trembling hands. "How?" she demanded, her voice sharp and full of disbelief. "How can you see me?" Daniel did not move. His voice was steady. "I saw the shift in the air, the way the dust moved, the way the silence bent around you. You thought you were invisible, but you're not invisible to me." Her chest tightened. She had walked unseen through armies, slipped past hunters, and spied on leaders. Yet this one human had pierced her gift with nothing but his eyes. Her mind raced, fear and anger twisting together. She stepped closer, her silver eyes narrowing. "What are you?" she whispered. "No human should see me. No alien has ever seen me." Daniel said nothing for a long moment, his gaze steady, his voice quiet but sharp. "I am human, and humans see what others refuse to look at." The alien girl shivered. She felt both exposed and drawn in. Something about his calmness unsettled her. She had always been the one in control, unseen, untouchable. But now the roles had changed. From the shadows of the colony, another soldier called out, "Daniel, what are you staring at?" He did not answer. His eyes remained locked on the girl. She realized then that no one else could see her, only him. Her breath quickened. She wanted to flee, to vanish back into the safety of the night. But her legs would not move. The weight of his gaze held her still. Finally, she hissed under her breath, "If you tell the others, I will vanish, and you will never see me again." Daniel shook his head slowly, his voice calm. "I don't need to tell them. You're safe. I won't hurt you." Her eyes widened. Again, his tone was not mocking, not threatening. It was calm, steady, almost protective. She did not understand. Humans were supposed to fear her kind. But this one spoke as if he had already known her for years. She vanished again, her body melting into the shadows. But even hidden, she felt his eyes still on her, tracking her every step. She whispered to herself, trembling, "He sees everything." Daniel turned back to the desert, his expression unreadable. Yet his mind was sharp. He knew the invisible stranger would return. And when she did, the real story would begin. For in a galaxy full of secrets, one truth had just been revealed: humans could see what even the unseen thought hidden. The night after their first encounter, the alien girl could not sleep. She lay hidden in the rocky caves outside the human colony, her silver eyes wide open, replaying the moment again and again. For the first time, someone had seen her. For the first time, she was not invisible. Her people had always told her that invisibility was perfection, that no enemy could touch her. She had believed it. She had lived by it. But now that belief was broken, shattered by the calm eyes of a single human. At dawn, she returned to the colony. Her body shimmered and disappeared as she approached the outer walls. She moved silently, blending into the crowd of soldiers preparing for the day. She wanted to test him again. She wanted to prove it was only a mistake. Daniel stood near the gate, his armor strapped on, his rifle across his back. He looked no different from the other Marines. But as soon as she stepped closer, his eyes shifted. He turned directly toward her hidden form, his gaze steady, piercing. Her heart raced. She froze, certain that perhaps he only guessed. She moved to his left, then to his right. But his eyes followed, calm and unshaken. Finally, she let her invisibility drop, her silver blue skin glowing faintly in the morning light. She stood before him, glaring. "Why?" she demanded. "Why can you see me?" Daniel tilted his head slightly. His voice was low, steady. "Because you are here." Her silver eyes narrowed. "That is not an answer," she snapped. "No human should see me. No alien has ever seen me." Daniel's lips curved into the faintest smile, not mocking, but calm. "I was trained to see details, to notice what others miss. In war, small details save lives. Dust shifting, shadows bending, air moving differently. I see them. I saw you." She stared at him, her anger twisting into something else, confusion. He was not afraid of her. Not impressed, not even surprised. He spoke as if it was simply the truth. She stepped closer, her voice sharp. "Then what do you want from me? If you can see me, if you can find me, what will you do?" Daniel's gaze held hers. His voice remained calm. "Nothing." Her chest tightened. "Nothing," she repeated. "You would let me go. You would not use this against me." "I don't hunt shadows," Daniel replied. "I don't cage what I understand. You are not my enemy." The alien girl felt her legs weaken. For years she had been feared, even by her own people. They called her dangerous, untouchable. But this human did not fear, did not hate. He simply saw. "Why me?" she whispered, her voice softer now, almost trembling. "Why do you see me when no one else can?" Daniel's eyes softened for the first time. His tone carried weight. "Because you wanted to be seen. Even if you tell yourself you didn't. Part of you wanted someone to notice." Her lips parted, but no words came. He had cut through her pride with ease. She stepped back, shaken. Her invisibility shimmered back around her body, but even hidden, she felt his eyes still following. She fled into the crowd, moving fast. Her heart thundered in her chest. "He is dangerous," she whispered to herself. "Not because he sees me, but because he understands me." That night, she returned again. She watched him from the shadows. This time she kept her distance. She wanted to know more. She wanted to understand how a human could see what no one else could. Daniel did not chase her. He did not speak, but each time she moved, his head shifted, his eyes turned. He always knew. The other soldiers noticed nothing. To them, Daniel was only quiet, watchful, but she knew the truth. He was more than watchful. He was aware. As the night deepened, Daniel finally spoke without turning his head, his voice calm, carrying into the shadows. "You don't have to hide. You've been hiding too long." Her heart ached at the words for the first time. Someone had said it, not with fear, not with hate, but with simple truth. She wanted to answer, but no words came. She vanished into the dark once more. Yet, as she fled, she knew the truth he had spoken would follow her. She thought her gift made her invisible, untouchable. But this human saw through more than her power. He saw through her, and in that moment, she realized her greatest fear. She could no longer hide from him, not in the shadows, not even within herself. The following nights were restless for the alien girl. She had always believed her invisibility made her untouchable, but Daniel's calm eyes had broken that belief. Each time she closed her eyes, she saw him staring directly at her, seeing her when no one else could. Curiosity pulled her back to the human colony again and again. She told herself she only wanted to understand. She wanted to know how, but deep inside, another feeling stirred, one she did not name. She followed him silently, blending into the shadows of the outpost. Daniel moved like a soldier who carried war in his bones. Every step was firm, every turn measured. He checked corners others ignored. He watched the sky as much as the ground. His silence was not emptiness, it was awareness. One evening, Daniel sat alone near the training yard, polishing his blade under the pale moons. The other soldiers laughed together in the distance, but he kept to himself, calm and steady. The alien girl crept closer, careful not to disturb the dust this time. She circled him, searching for a weakness, a blind spot, but wherever she moved, his eyes followed. Finally, frustrated, she dropped her cloak of invisibility. Her silver blue skin shimmered in the moonlight. Her silver eyes glared at him. "How?" she demanded, her voice sharp. "How do you always see me? I move silently, I bend the air, I erase my presence. Yet still, you follow me." Daniel lifted his gaze from the blade, his expression calm. "You erase yourself from the eyes of others, not from mine. I don't look for what is missing. I look for what does not belong. Even in silence, you leave a mark." Her chest tightened. His words unsettled her more than his eyes. He did not see her invisibility as perfection. He saw it as a shadow with edges that betrayed it. "You lie," she whispered. "No one has ever found me, no one." Daniel shook his head slowly, his voice steady. "I don't lie, I don't need to. I have lived through battles where one mistake meant death. I learned to see what others ignore. A sound too soft, a shadow too sharp, a breath too quick. That's what I see. That's how I saw you." The alien girl fell silent. Her anger faded into something colder, fear. If one human could pierce her gift, could others? Was she not as special as she thought? She turned away, her voice low. "So to you I am nothing more than dust, a shadow, an error." Daniel's reply came sharp and calm. "No, to me you are someone hiding, someone who wants to be seen, even if you deny it." Her heart skipped. His words struck deeper than any blade. She spun around, her silver eyes burning. "You know nothing of me." Daniel's gaze did not flinch. "I know enough. I know that no one hides unless they fear being seen." Her breath caught in her throat. She wanted to shout, to vanish, to run, but her legs did not move. Her pride battled with the strange pull in her chest. That night, she returned to the caves, her body wrapped in her invisibility, but her mind restless. His words echoed in her thoughts. She remembered her people, how they never looked at her, how even when she was visible, they turned away. Her gift made her a tool, a weapon, never a person. But the human had looked at her, not at her power, not at her invisibility. He had looked at her. The next day, she followed him again. This time she did not hide. She appeared before him in the open field beyond the walls. The wind pulled at her hair, her voice firm, though her heart raced. "Why do you not fear me? Every soldier I have ever met feared my kind, yet you do not." Daniel studied her with his calm eyes, his voice steady. "Fear blinds. I don't waste time on it. I respect strength, but strength is not invisibility. Strength is what you do when you are seen." Her silver eyes widened. His words cut through her pride again. She lowered her gaze, whispering, "Then you see everything." Daniel nodded once. "Yes, I see what others refuse to, and I see you." The alien girl's breath shook. For years she thought her greatest gift was that no one could see her. But now she wondered if the truth was the opposite. Maybe what she needed most was not to disappear, but to finally be seen. The desert night was quiet, too quiet. Daniel stood on the wall of the human outpost, his eyes scanning the horizon. His instincts whispered danger, not the kind written in reports, But the kind a soldier felt deep in his bones, the alien girl, still shimmering faintly in the air, appeared beside him. Her silver-blue skin caught the light of the moons as she let her invisibility drop. "You are always watching," she said softly. "Even when nothing moves." Daniel's gaze did not shift from the sand. Nothing moving is sometimes the loudest warning. Her silver eyes narrowed. "You think someone is coming?" Daniel nodded once. His hand rested on his rifle. "Not think, no." As if his words summoned it. The silence broke. Shadows rose from the dunes, figures moving fast and low. Dozens of hostile aliens armed with blades and rifles rushed toward the colony, their eyes burned with red light, their voices sharp with war cries. The alarm blared across the outpost. Soldiers scrambled. Rifles lit the night with bursts of fire. Daniel leapt down from the wall, landing hard in the sand. He shouted to the girl, "Stay hidden," but her pride burned at his command. She shimmered and vanished. Her body blended into the dark. She darted into the battlefield, believing her invisibility made her untouchable. Her people had told her no enemy could strike what they could not see. At first it worked. She slipped past enemies, striking quick with her blade, her movements swift, the sound of her blade cutting through the air. But then, a sharp hiss filled the battlefield. The attackers activated scanners, glowing devices that cut through the night. Beams sweeping across the sand. Suddenly, her invisibility failed. Her outline glowed in their vision. Their weapons turned. Their shots filled the air. She cried out, falling back as bolts of energy flew past her. Her heart pounded with shock. "They can see me," she whispered, fear clawing at her chest. Daniel appeared beside her, his rifle blazing, precise and deadly. Every shot dropped an enemy. His movements calm, his eyes sharp. He grabbed her arm and pulled her behind cover. His voice cut like steel. "Your gift doesn't work against machines. They don't fear. They don't guess. They scan." Her pride cracked under his words. Her voice trembled. "Then I am useless." Daniel shook his head, firing another shot. "You're not useless. You just need to fight differently." The attackers pressed closer, shadows swarming like a tide. Daniel's calm voice guided her. "Watch their feet. Listen to the sand. Don't hide. Move with purpose," she gritted. Her teeth, her silver eyes burned with determination. For the first time, she stopped trying to vanish. Instead, she fought openly, following his words. Each time she faltered, Daniel's eyes caught what she missed, his voice steady. "Left, strike low," or "Duck now." Together they moved as one. His sight cut through the chaos. Her speed struck where his eyes guided. The tide of enemies slowed. Confusion spread among them. The alien girl felt something strange as she fought. For years she believed her strength was in being unseen. But now, with Daniel's guidance, she was stronger when seen, stronger when fighting side by side. A massive enemy soldier charged, towering with armor and claws. The girl froze, her instincts screaming to vanish. But Daniel's voice rang out, steady and unshaken. "Stand your ground." She obeyed, her blade ready. The giant swung. Daniel's rifle cracked, blasting its arm. The girl leapt forward, her strike clean across its chest. The creature fell. Shaking the ground, she panted, her chest heaving. Her invisibility flickered weakly, but she did not use it. Instead, she looked at Daniel, his eyes calm, guiding, unwavering. "You saw everything," she whispered. The last of the attackers fled into the dunes. The battlefield fell silent, except for the hiss of smoke and the groans of the wounded. The alarm faded. Daniel lowered his rifle, his voice calm. "You don't need to hide. You're stronger when you let yourself be seen." Her silver eyes shimmered with something new, not just awe but trust. For the first time, she felt the weight of her gift fall away. She was not invisible here, not to him, not in battle, not in truth. And in that moment, she realized something she never wanted. To admit being seen was no weakness. It was her greatest strength.